Scotland and south into Northern Ireland, perhaps just getting into Cumbria by the time the day is out. But on the eastern side of Scotland, I don't think the rain amounting to very much. Further south of the day, ending as it began, fine and sunny. Temperatures tomorrow, well, nothing to write home about, 9 to 11 degrees Celsius. That's a degree or so either side of 50 Fahrenheit, but quite windy, especially on this western side, with severe gales in the north. Sunday then, there's that band of rain through the middle of the country, bright to the north of it and bright to the south of it. The rain pushing south as the day goes on and petering out, not too much rain in the south, with plenty of sunshine following along behind, just 1 or 2 showers up in northwest Scotland. That's it from me. Have a good weekend.
In a few minutes, the Rottweiler is up front on Granada. Last night, a 3-year-old boy was savaged by what critics call the devil dog. Tonight, we ask, should they be banned? Please join us.
This is Granada. Good evening, now the news from the northwest. A team of social workers from Liverpool who counselled survivors and bereaved from last year's Hillsborough disaster are on standby to help victims of the North Wales floods. About 100 social workers are already in the area where work today began on moving people back to their homes. As Tim Wyatt reports, work on repairing the seawall at Towyn, breached by the storms, should also soon be completed.
Ever since giant waves punctured holes in Towyn's sea defences on Monday night, work has been continuing round the clock to try and repair the damage. Convoys of lorries have been bringing huge boulders and consignments of concrete to try and seal that breach. So far it seems to be holding just. Everyone here is praying it'll continue to do so.
More than £250,000 has so far been donated to the Mayor of Colwyn's Flood Disaster Fund. Anyone who'd like to add to it can write to the National Westminster Bank at Market Street, Abergele, LL22 7BN. Alternatively, money can be taken into any branch of the NatWest. There were angry scenes at British Aerospace in Preston today as shop stewards recommended the acceptance of a deal for a shorter working week. Many rank-and-file members accused their negotiators of selling them out. Stuart Flinders has this report.
Although the Preston strikers, who've been out for 18 weeks, voted to accept the deal, tempers flared when officials insisted there was no choice but to accept.
I don't think we could say the strike is over. There was a significant number voted to go back to work. But equally, there was a very close proximity to that number that decided that the strike should not terminate.
Thousands of workers at Preston and British Aerospace in Chester have been in the vanguard of a national campaign by the Engineers Union to reduce working hours. The new deal is for a 37-hour, 4-day week. Union officials say the strike's over, but a ballot on a return to work is still to be held.
Meanwhile, the postal dispute in Lancashire is also over. Staff voted to return to work at a mass meeting in Preston this afternoon. 1,700 workers walked out on Wednesday following the sacking of a colleague. Post boxes across the county will start to be reopened tomorrow, but a spokesman for the post office says it'll be the middle of next week before mail services are back to normal. A second Manchester hospital is to sell heart operations to patients from outside the city area. Recently, MP Alf Morris criticised Wythenshawe Hospital over a similar plan. The Royal Infirmary has now struck a £400,000 deal to treat 80 patients from North Wales, but the Central Manchester Health Authority stresses that local patients won't lose their place in the current 3-month queue. Meanwhile, the region's first heart-lung transplant patient is expected to leave Wythenshawe Hospital on Monday after a successful operation. 42-year-old Derek Hunter from Morecambe will convalesce with friends in Cheshire. Now the weather. Dry and cold tonight with temperatures falling to 1 centigrade, 34 Fahrenheit. Tomorrow will be bright and sunny with temperatures as high as 9 centigrade, 48 Fahrenheit. Sunday's outlook, rain at first, dry later. Now for a look ahead to what's on Granada tonight, next week.
How much are those free gifts offered by credit cards really costing you? We've a special report. And talking of money, we ask what it takes to be a millionaire. And Shelley Rhodey continues her search for fresh delights off the beaten track and finds a stately home. That's Granada tonight, 6:30, Monday to Friday.
And that's all from us for now. We'll be back with more Northwest news at lunchtime tomorrow.
There's something about Bupa that not everyone realizes. They don't take out a penny in profit. everything goes into healthcare.
Good morning. Is it Mrs. Beattie?
It is, yes.
That's why Bupa can offer so much to so many. New hospitals and screening centres, taking healthcare out on the road.
Who's collecting your sister?
My daughter. Yes.
Daughter. Yes, fine. Right now, I'd like us to have a quick look at your eye.
Advising on health at work.
Good. That's it, Margaret. That's it.
Providing nursing homes and home nursing. Because Bupa is dedicated to healthcare 24 hours a day, every day.
If your car is running on 4-star, it could perhaps use SO Super Plus unleaded right now, without converting the engine. Unlike ordinary unleaded, it has the same octane power as SO 4-star, so there's no loss of performance. It's cheaper than our 4-star, and environmentally, it makes more sense. SO Super Plus unleaded. You may be able to switch to it right now, without converting your engine. Check with our brochure.
No colour meant more to Van Gogh than yellow. It always featured in his paintings. It is only one source of inspiration the great artist describes to complete the picture of the man and his work. Part 1 tells Constable's life story, explains his techniques, and beautifully reproduces many of his best-known paintings, and some more surprising ones. Each issue concentrates on a different artist to form a library covering the major periods of art. The great artists will paint the picture for you.
I move with the times, with progress. I expect high performance. For my skin, I've discovered the skincare of the future today. Plenitude Action Liposomes, created by L'Oreal Research.
The Plenitude liposomes carry active ingredients into the epidermis and delay the signs of aging.
With Action Liposomes, my skin is radiant and feels visibly younger. Challenge the aging process every day with Plenitude Action Liposomes.
If I might demonstrate.
Oh, thank you, Graham.
But he changes colour.
I think we'll stick to our extrusions.
I don't understand it.
Why don't you do it? On your own.
I need to talk to somebody about finances and premises and machinery.
Sales forecasts.
Sales forecast, yeah.
Business plan.
A business plan.
Barclays Bank.
Barclays Bank. They'd be impressed in the end.
If you're running a small business or thinking of starting one, talk to Barclays.